There's something almost magical about the smell of cinnamon in the air, the sound of fire crackling in the living room, and the soft hush that falls over the house on Christmas morning. At least, that's what it used to feel like. Every year since I was a kid, I'd wake up early, heart pounding with excitement, and rush down the stairs before anyone else stirred. It wasn't even about the gifts back then. It was the tradition, the warmth, the togetherness. Please subscribe to our channel and tell me in comments from where are you watching this video. But this year felt different. It was as if the very foundation of those warm memories had been quietly chipped away over time. I had been noticing it for a while, the way my parents began prioritizing Natalie more and more, how conversations around the dinner table revolved around her, how she never got blamed for things that I would have been grounded over. And now that we were both adults, you'd think it would even out. But no. If anything, it was worse. Natalie, with her flawless skin, bright Instagram-filtered smile, and her uncanny ability to turn every gathering into a photo shoot, had always been the star. She knew how to command a room, and my parents loved her for it. They called her their little social butterfly, while I was the quiet one, always listening, always observing, always being overlooked. In the weeks leading up to Christmas, I started to feel like an outsider in my own family. Natalie kept dropping not-so-subtle hints. "I hope it doesn't snow too much," she'd say, flipping her hair dramatically. "I wouldn't want flights to be delayed." I thought it was odd. Flights? Where was she going? I asked once, but she just smirked and said, "You'll see." Christmas morning arrived. I took a little longer to come downstairs than usual. Not out of laziness, but because I already sensed what was coming. And I needed time to brace myself. The tree stood tall and sparkling in the corner of the room, surrounded by presents in elegant wrapping paper. Natalie was already there, curled up on the couch with her phone in one hand and a mug in the other. My parents were bustling around, setting up breakfast like it was a five-star brunch buffet. Then my mother clapped her hands together. "All right, let's open presents." We gathered around the tree. The lights blinked slowly. Christmas carols played softly in the background. The warmth in the room felt almost mocking. Natalie went first. Of course. My mother handed her a sleek, golden box tied with a silk bow. Natalie's eyes lit up. "Ooh, is this what I think it is?" She tore it open like a kid on sugar, revealing an envelope with "To Our Special Girl," written in shining gold script. Inside were airline tickets. First class, to Paris, along with a printed itinerary of fashion tours, museum visits, a hotel near the Eiffel Tower, and even a dinner cruise on the Seine. She gasped, screamed, jumped up and hugged them both while squealing, "You're the best parents in the world!" I sat quietly, waiting, watching. My hands clenched slightly in my lap, but I said nothing. Then my mother turned to me with a cheerful grin, as if she hadn't just poured the entire budget of a honeymoon into one child. "And now for you, sweetheart." She handed me a small, soft package. I knew what it was before I even opened it, but still, I peeled away the wrapping carefully. Inside was a pair of red socks with snowflakes and another with my initials embroidered on the ankles. I looked up, trying to keep my face neutral. "They're cozy," my dad offered. "And practical. You like cozy things, don't you?" Natalie giggled. "Aw, that's so cute." Cute. I held those socks in my hand like they weighed 10 pounds each. I didn't say thank you. I couldn't. The words lodged in my throat like ice shards. I wasn't angry. I was hollow. The kind of hollow that comes not from a single blow, but from years of silent disappointment. From being the reliable one, the one who doesn't need grand gestures, the one who cleans up the mess after the party, the one who gets socks for Christmas. We sat down for breakfast. They chatted excitedly about Natalie's upcoming trip, about her outfit ideas, about how she'd take photos at the Louvre. I chewed silently, the food tasting like cardboard in my mouth. No one asked me what my plans were. No one asked me how work was going. No one even noticed when I excused myself from the table. I went upstairs, shut the door to my room, and stared out the window at the snow-covered street. That's when it hit me. I wasn't jealous of Natalie's trip. I wasn't even angry about the socks. I was done. Done playing the role of the background character in their glittery little drama. Done being the quiet one. Done hoping for something that was never coming. And right there, with the faint sound of Natalie laughing downstairs, I decided I'd give them something they'd never forget. A trip, all right. But not the one they had planned. They had their Paris. Now it was my turn, and mine would be unforgettable. It took me less than a week to plan everything. I wasn't reckless. I didn't scream or argue. I didn't post some petty rant online or try to guilt them with passive-aggressive silence. Number. That would be too easy for them to ignore or explain away like they always had. You're just sensitive. Natalie needs more support right now. Don't take it personally. This time I wanted them to feel it, not in a cruel way, but in the kind of way that echoes, that wakes you up at 2 a.m., wondering where you went wrong. I wanted them to see the reflection of every choice they'd made, and maybe, just maybe, finally understand what it's like to be invisible in a house where you're supposed to feel seen. So I waited until Natalie left for Paris. She made a huge scene of it, of course. Photos at the airport, a dramatic goodbye. She even hugged me like she was some kind of saint for remembering I existed. Next year you'll come with me, she said with a fake smile. I nodded. That would never happen. Then I waited 2 more days. On the third night, I packed a small bag, just enough for a few days. I left a single envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside was a handwritten note. I'm giving you the space you've always given me. Hope it's everything you dreamed of. Merry Christmas. And just like that, I left. No calls, no texts. I turned off my phone. Disappeared. At first, I thought maybe they wouldn't even notice. Maybe it would take days before they realized I hadn't come back. But I underestimated just how deeply absence can shake even the most oblivious hearts. By the second day, I had voicemails, dozens, from my mom, from my dad, even from Natalie, which, honestly, shocked me the most. Where are you? Why aren't you answering? Are you okay? Please come home. I stayed with a friend, quiet place, no drama, just peace. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was drowning in a sea of "you're not enough." I went on long walks, slept late, ate what I wanted. I let my mind breathe. And then, something surprising happened. Natalie posted on Instagram, not a selfie, not a croissant, not the Eiffel Tower. It was just a black screen with the words, "You never know how much someone means until they're gone." The caption read, "If anyone knows where my sibling is, please reach out. We miss you." It went viral. Friends started messaging me, even people from high school I hadn't spoken to in years. But I stayed silent. Let them sit in the quiet I had been buried in for years. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming my voice. When I finally returned home, 5 days later, the house was different. Not in its furniture or decor, but in the feeling. The air wasn't thick with Natalie's glow anymore. It was heavy with realization. My mother looked like she hadn't slept. My father just stared at me like he didn't know whether to hug me or apologize. Natalie wasn't there, still in Paris, but she'd left me a note on my pillow, a real note, handwritten, not a joke. I don't know how I missed it. You were always strong, and I guess I thought that meant you were okay. But I see now. I'm sorry I took up all the space. I promise. When I come back, I want to know you. The real you. No filters. I sat with my parents in the kitchen that night. They didn't bombard me with questions, no guilt tripping, just silence. Until finally, my mom whispered, "We thought you didn't need much. That you were fine. But we were wrong. I didn't need an apology wrapped in ribbon or some grand gesture. All I wanted was for them to notice, to see me, to treat me like I mattered just as much as the child they were so proud of showing off to the world." In that silence, something began to change, and maybe, just maybe, that trip I gave them, into the heartache, the confusion, the loss, was the only way they'd finally arrive at the truth. The truth that I was never the quiet one. I was the forgotten one. But not anymore. Please subscribe to our channel and tell me in comments from where are you watching